Hey everybody, and welcome back to Silver on the Forest for the next episode in our Let's Play series. So in the first episode, we drove up to our new land and started clearing some trees and built our new house, or little rustic cabin, which we stayed in overnight. It was very nice and cozy. So we're now into March. The reason being I went through February is obviously March gives us a few more things we can do. We're potentially getting a field created and a crop in the ground, and also potentially get some grass cut as well, as we are now into spring. We possibly try and look at getting this grass around here cut and then cleared and tidy up the place a little bit. So what we need to do before we can do any of that though is we're going to need to try and get some more money to get some farming equipment as well. Otherwise we ain't going to be doing much creating field without a plough of some sort. So yeah, the only way we can make money at the moment is by cutting trees. So we're going to have to start off cutting a few more trees down on our land. That way then we're obviously clearing more space for the actual farm itself to be built up and potential fields. But we do have this big wide open area here, which we own all this land. So if we go into the farmland, from that line there that curves up towards there, so all this kind of bare patch area we own as well. And at the moment it's just land that's not doing anything. There's no trees on it, there's no trees growing on it, there's no grass, so it's just wasteland. So I think if we do get some equipment to do fields, I think we may as well utilise this area first, as at the moment it's not doing anything. Really I should have not built the house where I did, but I thought it looked nice at the time in the trees. So what we'll do, we'll start off getting a few more trees cut down. I'm just trying to think possibly where. We'll leave the ones around the house just for now, and we'll start cutting some of the ones over this side, maybe working our way along this road a little bit. I have marked 2 trees roughly along this road where our boundary comes. I think if we start off here and we'll continue clearing these trees, trying to earn some more money so we can then get some equipment. I think we may need to get a more powerful tractor. There is some equipment we can use with a little John Deere, but it's quite small and very limited to what's available. So I think if we can get enough money to get a slightly larger horsepower tractor, that will give us a lot more options with the equipment we can use. So yeah, I'm going to continue with doing what I did last time. I'll cut these down, cut them into 5-meter lengths to fit on our trailer. Just trying to think if it's, I mean, if we was a little bit further away from the sawmill, I'd possibly consider getting a second trailer. Yeah, that's going to be 4,000 though for another trailer, which is going to put us a little bit further back from if we do want to get another tractor. Yeah, for now we'll stick with the one we've got, and so we'll just get some more of these trees cut down, and I'll get them cut up into 5-meter lengths. Okay, so we've got the first load of logs loaded up and ready to be sold. So as you may have seen from the little time lapse, I did bring the trees out from the grass area to cut them up, because it's just so difficult to actually see them, see where the logs are once you've cut them up, as well as actually cutting the trees up. So what I'm thinking of doing, until we can get some equipment that we can then use to clear the grass and bushes out the way to make it easier to do that, we've got all this strip of trees along the clearing down here. So I'm thinking if we clear the ones along the edge, we can cut them so they fall into the clearing. That's going to make it a lot easier to see, and as we're mostly just trying to clear trees for money at the moment rather than to clear areas of land to use, I think it just makes more sense to do that until we've got some more equipment. I say then we can clear the trees and bushes. So once I've finished loading up this, the rest of these here, we'll start cutting along the clearing area there. Just going to make life a lot easier, so when we come to cut them up into length and then load them, and then we'll see how much money we've got once we've done that. I'm looking at the tractor I want to get and the equipment I want to get to use. We need at least 150 horsepower. There is a tractor which is at 165, I think, 169 maybe, which is around about 44,000, 45,000. So we're going to need another 30,000 just to get that. Then we're going to need the money to get the plough, and then some money to get the seed drill, buy some seed, fertiliser. So we need a lot of money to be able to get started. I have looked at smaller equipment that we could use with the current John Deere, and apart from really like 1 metre, 1.5 metre ploughs, which yeah I could use, in case of like seed drills, there's not many options other than like really small stuff again, which I don't really kind of fit the what we're doing, for the price we can get, for the horsepower requirement that tractor has. So I think getting the slightly more higher horsepower tractor gives us so many more options. It will still limit us to small equipment. You know, we're not going to get a tractor that we can then get 12, 18 metre seed drills, planters and stuff like that. So it's going to be still limited, but I just think it's going to be more beneficial doing that. So yeah, I'm going to continue, say, getting the rest of these cleared, and then we'll start cutting some trees along that way. Okay, so I've been busy clearing trees from the edge of this open area. So we're up to 49,240. There's a few more logs left from some of the trees cut down, so we'll load those up after we sell these. And that should give us enough money then to buy a new tractor and also the plough I want to get. We may still need to cut down a few more trees after that. So once we potentially get a field ploughed in, we can look, see how much money we've got left after getting the tractor and anything else we may need. So yeah, 54,906. I'm pretty sure the tractor's around about 45, and then the plough I want to get is actually 10 or 11,000. So after we've sold these logs, we should just about have enough, but we won't have much money left for anything else. Yeah, so I may continue cutting down the rest of the trees along this strip down there, close to the sawmill. I'll get those sold first, just so we've got a little bit of extra money to get anything else we may need this time. One thing I would like to try and do as well before we do finish up for today is to get at least one greenhouse built, get that topped up with water, just so we've got that running and producing some produce that we can then sell. So we've got, although it be a small amount of money, we will have another source of income other than forestry. So yeah, we'll get this one loaded up, get this sold, see how much that takes us to. And so I may continue cutting down the rest of those trees down that end, just along the edge of this strip, and get those sold, just so we've got a little bit more money. Because the last thing I want to do is sell this, get to the store, and then find out we don't quite have enough, and then end up having to come back. So I'd rather get a little bit more than I know we need, just to be on the safe side. Okay, so that's the rest of those logs loaded up that we've got cut. So we'll go and get these sold. I'm pretty sure that's not going to be quite enough. I'm also thinking is if we're going to get the new tractor, it might be beneficial to get the batwing mower as well. That way then we can use that to cut all the bushes out the way and clear the grass, so when we do cut any further trees we can see them. But yeah, we'll get these ones sold. See where that takes us first. I'm going to have to go and look through the shop menu just to work out exactly how much we need. So yeah, 5,250 for that load. Takes up to 60,156. Which I estimate we need 45 for the tractor. I'm going to say 11 for the plough. So it's 56. I think the batwing mower is 15, so 61, 71. So I reckon if we can get up to around about 75,000, then that should give us enough to get the equipment we need. Obviously we'll still need a lot more because we'll need to get a seed drill to actually plant anything in the field, and then we'll also need to buy some seed fertilizer. As well, and then fertilizer spreader. So I possibly need to get a rock picker as well, which are quite expensive. So yeah, there's going to be a lot to buy. I'm going to have a look on Mod Hub as well to see if there's any cheaper alternatives to rock pickers. So I'm pretty sure I've got stones turned on, which kind of adds a little bit more to it. So yeah, I'm going to continue. I'm going to probably cut down all the way to the edge corner, which I think should give us more than enough money. So I'll continue again with these, doing them 5 meter lengths. We'll get all these sold, and then we can hopefully get the, well, we will be able to get the new tractor. We've got the money for it now, and get some other bits and pieces that we need, so we can start getting some fields in. Okay, so we're now up to 86,674 with a few logs left. I think we should have enough now if we just sell these last few. And then we can get the new tractor, we can get the plough. I may leave the batwing mower until next time, because I don't think we're going to get time to do that as well. And also we are going to need to, well, we don't need to remove the stones, but obviously it's going to cause more wear and tear on our equipment if we don't remove any stones that come up in the field we create. So obviously we don't want to be running up high maintenance and repair costs. So it would be beneficial if we could get a rock picker. So the downside is the ones in the base game are I think the cheapest one's 24,000, which is not particularly big either. I know there are quite a few on Mod Hub now, so I may have to go and have a look. I think there is a 3-point mounted one that may work. Although again that's quite small. This is one of the reasons why I really don't like stones on the game. I wish they were a little bit more random. Not just come up here, there and everywhere across the entire field. So yeah, we've got these last few logs to load up, and we'll get these sold and then we'll head over to the store. So last couple of logs to put on, or last 3, 4. The last few I should say. Smaller bits we can pick up by hand, so we can get those thrown on. And I say we'll get these sold. That should take us above 90,000. So we'll get the new tractor, we'll get the plough, and then we can get the field ploughed in. See what space, how much money we've got left after that, and kind of decide what to do and what the next plan will be. But yeah, I at least want to try and get the field ploughed in today. So I think we may need to leave some of the other stuff because it's going to require cutting down a load more trees, which isn't an issue of doing. It's just the time. I've still got to get this video edited, rendered, uploaded. Right, so this log grab does struggle a little bit with trying to pick up more than one. It's like I've spiked that one. Let's try that again. Yeah, it's not a bad log grab for individual logs, but it's because there's not much tilt on the skid steer, it's difficult to get under 2 sometimes. It's all like roll over the top of the first log. It's that little bit further away. We've managed to get those 2, so if we can hopefully now squeeze them on the trailer without them falling off or knocking off any of the other logs. Come on, don't fall off. Stay on there. Nope. There we go. That'll do. It's close enough. That one's sat down a little bit. So we'll switch that off and leave that there. Get these strapped down. And let's get this load sold. So that should take us up to around about 91, 92,000. And this is quite a big area as well, so I'm not going to plough the entire area as one big field. There's one that'll take quite a while. And so yeah, I don't want to use the entire space for fields. The fields we do put in this area may be a temporary field as well. It was 7,108 for that, so a little bit more than I expected. So we're up to 93,782. Okay, so down at the store, we'll get our second tractor, our first new tractor. So we'll just quickly check the used equipment sales, which I doubt there'll be anything in here that's any use to us. Nope. There's a nice TLX 3,500 crew cab though. Not that it'll be any use to us. The Ponzi Bison would be nice, but that's a little bit expensive. And the telehandler, yes, a little bit more than we would want to pay for equipment at this time. So if we go vehicles, and we're going to get a medium tractor, and the one I want to get is potentially we've got the John Deere. This is 135,000. So this is by Jono 46 Mods and Dinny's Farms. Quite a few people on this one as well. So yeah, 130 to 220 horsepower. So 38,500 for the base. That'd be 130. That's not quite enough. I think we need at least 150. So that'd be 43,500. 48,500 for the 170 horsepower, which will be a little bit more. And if we then went with jewels, that's going to be 48,500 still. We don't need mirrors, don't need GPS. Extremity lights. We'll put the old style ones on. Side lights. As we don't really do much in the dark, I don't think we need the extra lights. Might as well save ourselves a bit of money. We'll keep the drawbar standard. So we can always make changes to these if need be. So we've got the weight bracket on the front. We can have the old style, different weights. That's getting quite expensive. So if we probably just go with the weight bracket. And we can also add a front loader attacher, which we don't need because we've got the skid steer. So that'll be 49,000 for that one. But that'll be 170 horsepower. Or we could go with the International, which 162. But I think this one will work out a little bit cheaper. Potentially, let's have a look. So we could go jewels. Let's keep that one standard, but we want the cab on it. So yeah, that one's only going to be 43,800 for a 162 horsepower. So slightly less horsepower, but a little bit cheaper as well. This one can also have front loader if we need it. Control center add-on. I think that's all decorative stuff. And we can get weight on the front, which won't cost any more additional either. Rear attach extras. We'll go with the top drawbar link. And I think we'll go with this one. It's going to be cheaper for, I say, slightly less horsepower tractor. But we only needed around 150. So we'll buy that one. 43,800. And then the next thing we want to get is a plough. And if we go to ploughs, and I've got the Case 55 chisel plough. So this is by Rooster Mods. And we'll go with the 17 shank, which is, what's the horsepower? Oh, that one's a little bit too much. So the 150 horsepower, 4.6 meters, which isn't too bad for a plough. It's going to cost 11,000. And we'll go for the sweeps on that. So we'll buy that as well. Quickly, while we're here, I just want to quickly look at the stone pickers. Yeah, I've only got the base game ones. And the cheapest one is 25, which we can afford. We're not far off being able to afford the big one, but that's 200 horsepower, so that one's going to be a bit too much. And that one, yeah, it's a lot more expensive. So at the moment, the only real option we've got is this at 25,000. So I will probably go and have a look at the mod hub, see if there's any other options that may be a little bit cheaper. But there's our new tractor, our nice new International. 1586, and our nice new plough. So we'll get this attached up, we'll head back to the farm, and then we'll get our first field created. Okay, so coming up to our start area. So I'm just going to put the field in the clearing, as at the moment it's wasted space, and I've just realised there's a couple of trees I missed there from earlier. So as I say, with the long grass and the all the bushes, it's quite difficult to actually see. So we'll keep up this end. So don't want to do too big a field to start off with. So these fields may get removed as we progress further on and the farm kind of builds up and we've cleared more land. But I think this will be a nice area to start with. So we'll leave a bit of a gap. So if we do cut down in trees, we're not going to be in the crop that's potentially growing, trying to load up any logs. So if we start off here, so if I allow create fields, I'm going to set the enhanced vehicle control mod so we can keep in a nice straight line. Also set the lanes as well. So we'll drop that down. I'm just going to check actually whether I've got stone switched on, because I can't remember the options. Pretty sure there should be. If I get the right menu. Field stone, yeah, field stone's on, weeds on, lime's on. So everything's on. Dirt, weeds, lime, field stone, periodic plowing, crop destruction's all on. Hard economy as well. So yeah, just double check that. So, oh, those things all get removed when we plant. I don't know why some things won't, the plow doesn't remove. You can see we're getting some quite big stones come up. But yeah, we'll have to ignore the bushes that aren't being removed. They should be removed when we go over with the seed drill. Hopefully anyway. But yeah, we'll get our new field, or our first field here on Dark Forest all ploughed in. So we'll probably only bring it up to about here. I'm just going to keep it fairly square. I say I don't want to come too close to those trees, because if we do start cutting those down, I want a little bit of room that we can load them up. With crop destruction on as well, I don't want to be driving over the crop. So if we get this to 90, slow that down. That's gone a little bit big, but I can tidy that up with the landscaping mode. And yeah, we'll continue this and get our first field done. Okay, so last full strip to do, and then we've got a partial strip to finish this field off, and that'll be our first field created. And what I'm thinking is we'll plant this one up with sorghum, which we can do. We can't do until next month, but April's the earliest we can do sorghum. That way, then it gives us the option to get some chickens later in the year once we've harvested it, because that is the only crop we can currently plant to use for chicken feed. And there's no point doing any other crops to potentially use for feed. Pigs are the only other animal type that require, other than horses. Horses I don't tend to bother with in FS because I just find they're a complete waste of time. So yeah, chickens would be the best option to go for. And sorghum is the only crop, although I generally wouldn't use sorghum as a chicken feed because obviously it's a more expensive crop than wheat or barley, but we can't plant any of that for this year's harvest. And there's also the option as well that we still have plenty more space there, that I may get another field in possibly next time going the other direction. So keep it square again, but go the other way towards where we've got our skid steer down there. So that's the first field created, and what we'll do is I'll just go in landscaping mode and just tidy up the edges a little bit. So if we go landscaping, go to plants, you can use any plant or bush as long as it comes up with the brush so you can see what you're doing. So the meadow grass works really well. If you then right click, you can then delete and it doesn't cost any money as long as you don't accidentally press right click and paint some meadow grass. That bit there I'm not too fussed about. Actually, yeah, this actual end of the field did go off slightly because I knocked my steering wheel. Oh, I took a little bit too much off there. So I started off at 90 degrees, but then it went off to like 94. So if we set this, and this is another thing as well that I get asked a lot when I'm landscaping painting. If you use the minimap down the bottom, I set that to like 90 degrees, so you're nice and straight, and then use the mouse and keyboard to keep in a straight line. So if we just bring that to there and then just go forward with the keyboard, we should get a nice straight line across that top end of the field. Works with the painting as well, so you can paint nice straight lines. So yeah, once you've set that up, obviously the painting tool works really well on a 45-degree angle as well. You get a nice straight edge, so you can do 45, 90, and then so on. That little bit I'm not too fussed about, but we do need to tidy up this little bit at the end of the field here. That should be okay then. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's a bit annoying that these bushes don't get removed with a plough. I would like it to look like a nice newly ploughed field. But that's something we can sort out next time when we plant it. So next job for that field will be to remove the stones. I'm going to have a look on ModHub first because see what the best option is price-wise, size-wise, and how long it's going to take. The other thing I will say, I did get a comment about saying possibly only using lime we produce from the rocks or stones on the field, which is a nice idea. I'm going to have a look at lime production mods because I don't think I've got any installed. And the other one was about the potentially only fertilizing with manure and slurry, which obviously is not something we can do at the moment. And planting these fields up with no fertilizer, no lime until we got those up and running would, yeah, I just don't think it'd be worth bothering with harvesting the actual fields for how little we'd get off it. So the manure and slurry is obviously something as we progress and we do actually get our own, will be something useful to use on our fields. But I think for now we're just going to have to purchase fertilizer. But I do like the idea of only using lime from the stones. So I will have a look at potential lime production mods. Not ones because I think some are way too overpowered and you can make way too much lime and way too much money from them. I don't want to spoil the game by using mods and productions that are just kind of too fast and yeah, make the game far too easy to make money or too quick because of the high production rates they have. So I will be a bit selective on which productions we use for mods and things. So there's a potential for that. But yeah, I'm going to leave this episode here because I'm really struggling. I'm a bit behind and I need to get this video edited, rendered, uploaded. Hopefully in the next few days I should get caught up and start getting ahead of myself. So I have to try and get a little bit more done. Actually, before we do finish up, I did mention I'd do the greenhouse. So we'll put at least one greenhouse in. So if we go back in build mode and then go to production, greenhouses. Yeah, so the one I want to use is the one from Elk Mountain Modding. Because I think it's a rather nice looking greenhouse. And I think we put it over this side of our cabin. Get it this way around so we can access the water. And I don't want to put it too far back. I don't know which the best direction in terms of real life, which way this would go, where you'd put it. But looking at the shadow of the trees, I think we come out to about here. It's not going to be in too much shade. Not this time of the day anyway. So if we put that in there, that's 7,046. We'll just do a little bit of landscaping. Add a little bit of dirt texture around this instead. I don't do too much landscaping because it does cost money because I'm not using the free landscaping mod, which sometimes I use. So I'll put a little bit of path there. I'm going to get rid of that bush there. That's the pallet spawn area, which is just down this side. We've got the skid steer, so accessing that's not going to be too difficult. I'll just get a set of pallet forks for the skid steer. We will need to be able to get in here with the tanker to fill the water up. I might just bring that out a little bit more. And then we'll put some kind of access. As this road's here, we'll probably bring it off this side actually. So we've got a little bit of an access road into that. And yeah, let's bring that a little bit wider. Kind of think I don't. Yeah, we'll widen this as well a little bit. We've kind of got a driveway up there as well. And what we'll do as we progress as well, put more fields in and things. I'll go around and start painting in some road textures. So we've actually got some proper roads in. But as I say, that does cost money, so I do want to be a little bit careful with how much we spend. So yeah, all we need to do now is get some water. So if we'll head up to the store and get a water tanker. We'll take the little John Deere. Yeah, I need to paint the ground texture where this trigger is. I know it's around here somewhere. I don't know why it's like all the way out here and not actually in front of the building. Where is it? I've lost the trigger. There we go. Yeah, I'm gonna have to put a little marker on the ground so I know exactly where it is. Right, so we want animals. No, not animal transport. We want animals. So the cheapest option will be go for the Abbey 550, which is $3,000. There is the slightly larger one, which is 6,056 litres at 8,000, which is quite a lot. We'll go with this one, because I don't think we really need anything bigger than this. So we'll buy that for 3,000. Now I'm just going to quickly check. Pretty sure I may have some water fill triggers. Yeah, I've got the American Farm Buildings pack by Omatana, which has got one in. I don't know if that charges you, or whether that's free water. Yeah, on that, I'm not 100% sure. There is also the pumping wind turbine. Yeah, the other option is going to be to go up to the water at the top of the map and get some water from there, which I know will be free. It's not actually far from where we are, so yeah, we'll head over there, we'll fill the tank up with water and we'll get that back to the farm. I'm going to check those mods because I don't want to put a mod in. It's waste money buying something that's then going to charge us for water. Okay, so back to the farm area and we'll get our greenhouse topped up with water. There won't be enough in here to completely fill it, but there'll be enough to get it started. So what I'll probably do is look for one of the other mods I've got that for the water fill points, so we can put a well or something next to our house, so we've got a nice supply of drinking water and supply of water for the greenhouse itself. We just stop that there. Now there is some more water down that track as well, but which is obviously a little bit closer than the other one if we was to get it from here. So if we go in here and open the production menu, so I'm going to set it to just lettuce. So this greenhouse is the same production rates as the large base game greenhouse. So it's not like a ramped up production on this one. So if we activate that, so we'll produce 1,008 lettuce per month. Which say slightly less than the strawberries and tomatoes, but it does have a higher sell price. So we can leave that working away. So there's our lettuce growing. We can grow our own food now, so we've got something to eat. Although lettuce diet doesn't sound very appealing. But yeah, there we'll go. We'll leave it there for today. So we've got our first field created, got ourselves a new tractor and plough. We're starting to get some farming equipment built up. We will also need to look at getting a storage shed built somewhere so we can start storing our equipment. But yeah, we'll can look at that over the next few episodes. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you have, then please don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Really do appreciate that. And if you're not yet subscribed to the channel, then please do consider subscribing. Got more Farming Simulator 22 content coming up with the live streams and let's plays on this channel. And if you want to check out the time lapse of this particular series in time lapse form, then check out my main channel, Sim Farmer, and you can see the time lapse from this video. So yeah, big thank you for watching, and I hope you all have a great week, and I'll see you all next one. Thank you again. Goodbye.